Greetings 3-2, whether it's the morning or the afternoon, I hope you're excited to start using your handwriting book. We will begin with the first few pages, which is just strengthening your hand muscles and your handwriting skills in manuscript, which are our regular letters of the alphabet and some numbers. So we are going to begin working on page 4. And as you can see, these letters look very familiar to you. They're letters that you write pretty much every single day. And again, it's just to strengthen your handwriting muscles to get ready for when we begin writing in cursive. So today we're going to practice letters uppercase and lowercase, L, I, T, and then on the next page, O, A, and D. And I do want you to take this seriously. You should do your absolute best. Make sure you're taking your time. It's not a race, because otherwise I'm going to make you do it again. And I don't want that to happen. You need to take pride in your handwriting. For the rest of your life, you need to make sure that handwriting is something that you take pride in, that you feel that you are doing with excellence, and that you're showing respect towards, because it has to do with your work. Beginning with the letter I, we're going to start with uppercase. And in these workbooks, it shows you the direction of where your pencil begins and which direction it needs to go. Make sure when you're forming these letters that if the letter begins at the blue in the sky and then goes down to the ground, that's where you begin and that's where you stop. Capital I. And it even tells you with little teeny tiny numbers which lines or which parts of the letter you create first. So now I'm starting from the dotted line for my lowercase I, coming down to the ground and then back up to dot my I. Then I go to the next one. Moving on to my T. You will finish the rest of them. Definitely. Let me just refocus this. Much better. Again, it has the numbers of which line to form first. So again, I'm back starting in the sky, down to the ground, and then crossing my T second. Again, I'm not going to do all of them. That's for you to practice. Moving on to the letter L. Again, it tells me what order to make the lines. Capital L. Uppercase I, starting in the sky, down to the ground, cross the top, cross the bottom. T, up in the sky, down to the ground, cross it over. And then what I didn't do, which you should do, there is this set of lines in between. So below where you trace over each letter, capital and lowercase, you want to use the next line to practice without tracing. Then come down here, this would be lowercase I. Notice I'm taking my time. There's always room to improve and strengthen our handwriting skills and muscles. And then here would be lowercase t, capital L, capital I, and capital T. And then down at the bottom, you have a series of words to write that use the skills that you practice at the top of the page. So twirl, I'm going to write twirl next to the word twirl. This is also another place. Oops, my W didn't come all the way down. This is also another place to look for different spellings of words. Then I'm going to write ballet, lift, and then for tap, it looks like I'm going to have to go to the next line, which is absolutely okay. But I want to get as much practice as possible. If I have the time and the space, I'm going to write twirl again below the word. So maybe that's where we can write tap, below the word tap. That's where we'll get our practice. There's not enough space on this side. Make sure when you're using capitals, you're using capitals. And then after you finish page 4, which should take you a while if you're really practicing that handwriting strength and you're doing it with excellence, it should take you a while. Then we're moving on to letters O, A, and D. And then same at the bottom. You want to practice writing these words. Make sure that when you have letters that meet at the dotted line, they don't go above that dotted line. When you're doing handwriting, whether it's cursive or manuscript, you want to make sure that on your desk you have one hand on your paper, one hand holding your pencil, so that way your book doesn't slip. This is the best way to have like a handwriting seating stance or seating position. Your back needs to be against your chair and your feet should touch the floor if they do. I know sometimes my feet don't touch the floor, but I hope this is enjoyable to you. Again, these are the first steps before we get into the other pages of writing cursive. So turn this book in when you are done. I want to see how much care and excellence you put towards this handwriting work, and I will be back next time with the next set of letters.